welcome back if you are returning from previous videos that I have made, and if you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you guys really enjoy this video. It took me a while to kind of prepare for it, and don't forget also, if you haven't subscribed, that red button, click it and you will get notified to see other upcoming videos. With this video in particular, I'm going to be talking about my recovery, and so far to this day, which marks almost my 9th month postpartum, talking about how I lost my weight and tips and tricks that help me stay on track. Again, I am not a nutritionist. I am not a trainer whatsoever. So this is what worked for me. And again, it might work for you or it might not. It's just what I'm putting out there that I went through. So before I get like all these judgy comments, this is what I went through, and hopefully it helps you guys also. I also want to throw out there that for any tools or supplements or anything that I talk about, it is not sponsored. Again, this is just my personal choice. This is what I've been doing, and hopefully it helps you guys. So don't think I'm bought from something. I am totally not. So this is just personal choice, what I bought, and some tips and tricks that helped me. So to get started, my pregnancy, thank God, it was complicated, but I want to say pretty close to normal. I did get all the symptoms of nausea, vomiting, etc. So I did experience a lot of complications, but in the end, we gave birth to a very healthy, beautiful baby girl. In my delivery, I just want to throw out there, a natural delivery, and I did have a 2nd-degree tear. That goes into place with what I'm going to talk about in my recovery. Definitely was a crazy experience. And would I do it again? Yes. So stay tuned for when I get pregnant again video. But yeah, other than that, just jump right into the recovery part. Everybody knows we do have a 6-week, I want to say, window or gap to fully recover. You spent 9 months carrying a baby, nurturing your baby and all that inside. And when the baby's out, it's just as important as yourself taking care of yourself, like when the baby was inside. So unfortunately for me, it was my first baby, and I don't want to say I didn't have complete help, because I did, a lot of people checked up on me and stuff, like called, but in the home wise, it was mostly me. So a lot of the stuff that I did experience, I just feel like for the most part, some people can relate and some people can't. So just take that into consideration. My first 6 weeks, I did learn how to breastfeed. Now, again, so anyone who is breastfeeding, or, if I say something, don't think that you have to stop or anything or whatever it is. This is just what was happening to me and my body and what I could just do about it. So again, this is just my personal journey. What I'm talking about is, whether it relates to you or not, just take it however you please. Again, so I did breastfeed for about 5 weeks. Now, why is that important? We all know that when you're breastfeeding, you have to eat extra calories. So that was one of the reasons why I did not go long with breastfeeding. Being a new mom, there's a lot of superstitions, or not sure, still to this day, that you are not allowed to eat a lot of foods while breastfeeding. The obvious, like alcoholic drinks like that. But other than that, a lot of the gassy foods that I was eating, and even healthier foods like broccoli, beans, I want to say Brussels sprouts, a lot of the gassier foods, they were taken away from my diet. So that to me was very hard. I will talk about later on in my months of recovery. I am not good with restrictive diets, and I would probably say that over and over and over. This is why I don't do low carb keto. I don't do I don't know, like sugar-free. I mean, there's a lot of little fad, restrictive diets that I have not been able to pull through. This is just me when I'm going to talk about why I haven't been able to pull through with those diets. But yeah, like I said, so it was very restrictive for me to not be able to eat the certain foods that I was used to eating, and it was very hard. So another thing that was very hard while I was breastfeeding was time. So if anybody really, really, really knows me, I am never sitting down. Like, honestly, even I think when I turned a week postpartum, I was already thinking about going for a walk because I hate recoveries. I hate just laying around. It just has a lot with my mental health anxieties that I used to get when I was a bigger person. If you guys didn't know, I was 70 pounds heavier prior to getting pregnant, and then I lost weight and then I got pregnant. But yeah, so if you guys really suffer with anxiety and depression, I want to say those are my two go-tos. I do not lay around, which sucked for me. Those 6 weeks was like the hardest thing I could ever do, because all everybody would call me, to say is, you gotta lay down, you gotta rest, you gotta, recover, etc. So please take that in consideration, that prior to having my baby, also I was very active during prior to my pregnancy, during my pregnancy, and I want to say after, in my recovery, I returned slowly back to being active. That was a big part on my end, I feel, was returning to somewhat normal, even though I was very slow. Another thing also with the breastfeeding was it had a lot to do with my sleep. And if anybody really knows about sleeping and not being able to, stay on a constant routine, sleep has a lot to do with your stress hormones during the day. You're more angry, you're also more hungry, apart from burning the calories that you're already feeding your baby. So that was a big play. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I wasn't being able to eat certain foods. And crap, I forgot the other one. I think it was like time. So again, this is why I didn't pull through with breastfeeding. Do I believe in it? Do I think it's great? Yes. It might not be your case. You might have an extra support system that can be helping you and stuff, and I would pull through it if you can. In my case, at the time, my hubby had to work and we could not afford to go on family leave. So, again, it was just on my own. My mom and his mom also worked and just didn't have enough time to take care of me personally, which I don't mind. It was fine. I pulled through and everything. But again, if you guys are breastfeeding, don't feel discouraged. You can still lose weight. You can still stay on track. It's just, for me, it was a little bit more harder too when I was by myself. So after my 5 weeks, I did, actually after my first week, I did start, like I mentioned, walking. And for about, I want to say anything from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. Considering that I did tear, another problem came by later on that maybe some of you guys might have, which are hemorrhoids. Ugh. Just thinking about that word just like makes my head just, oh. Yeah, so it was very painful on that end. So after my 6 weeks, I want to say, is when I started feeling normal again and decided to do the tips that I'm going to talk about. That helped me lose some of the weight. Again, I did not lose weight during my pregnancy. During my 6-week recovery, I just really focused on trying to stay active if I could, just light walking, picking up after whatever it was, just trying not to really lay down as often, or just try to lay down when my baby would sleep. So after my 6 weeks, I was feeling back to normal. Me and my hubby decided that we would start meal prepping. Now, this to me is probably the most key point into wanting to stay consistent. So it's not so much of staying healthy, because obviously you can cook anything healthy every day, and it doesn't have to be meal prepped. This just helped for me because one, I just had a baby and I have no time. So if you guys suffer with time, this would probably be my number one tip that I tell everyone, is to cook on days ahead. So you prepare and have in containers in the fridge, so when it is your time to eat, you just serve it and warm it up and you're ready to go. You don't have that stress of, what am I gonna cook? It's gonna take a while, I'm not eating on time. I can't because I'm with my baby and I'm just gonna munch on something or go buy something to eat. So that would probably be my biggest tip. Number one tip is to either meal prep or have something ready before your meal. Like I said, this just helped me a lot tremendously, is to cook a day and prepare for 5 days. And like I said, it might not work for you like it did for me. So what I also recommend is, if you're not wanting to meal prep, is have an idea of what foods you do want to eat during the week. So whether you write it down on a list or a calendar, right, Monday I'm going to cook this, or Tuesday I'm going to cook this. Have everything ready and cook early, so that way you have everything ready for when it is time later on that day. That would probably be my biggest tip for anyone who wants to lose weight and stay on track, is the consistency and the routine of sticking with it. So the easier that it is, the easier you are more likely to continue it. Another big one that I'm always talking about was water. I drink a lot of water. As you guys can see, carry water with me anywhere. I talk about it a lot. Our body is made up, I want to say 75% of it, of water. And if you're not putting that much into your body, you're not really flushing away any extra toxins that you have. It also helps with stress hunger, which some people think, you might be hungry, but you're actually really thirsty. And instead of adding those calories of extra food that you shouldn't be eating, you are implementing water in your body. That was a big step for me, controlling, my hunger. Again, you are not sleeping well and all this, so water intake is a big go-to and helps tremendously with losing weight. I want to say another tip also with having your meals prep and water would be having a semi-routine started. So I know with newborns, it's probably insane to say, like, I want to start a routine or whatever, because they're everywhere and you don't really know, especially being a first-time mom, what's going to happen the next day. But try to make a routine that you could be consistent to and reasonable with. So what I would do is, even if, the night was crazy and I didn't get sleep, I would make sure that I would wake up and have breakfast at the same time, have a snack, have lunch at the same time, have a snack, and have dinner at the same time. And if I had time after that, I would have another snack. So the reason why routine is very important, that you get started on one, is your body being under control. The time that you spent, deciding on what to eat or making whatever it is, or eating 2 hours later than what you did yesterday, your body is like feeling that. It's going through that, and it's, going crazy as well, just like you are. And it's saying, hey, it's time for lunch and you're not feeding me, so what's happening? A lot of things do go into place with routine. Again, your body starts getting a faster metabolism. It's going to start breaking down all the foods instead of storing it as fat. So that was a big thing that I also made sure I got started. Even with my newborn, I made sure that, she was fed. Again, I switched to formula, so it helped me tremendously. I would just put her on the little rocker things, whatever it was, or a swing, and just kind of prop her with the bottle. I know a lot of people don't believe in that, but I would always stay constantly next to her, talk to her, and I would eat at the same time she would. So that helped me a lot. I know a lot of moms out there are like, I don't have time, or I can't help, or I can't go and get food because they constantly want to be held. With my baby, luckily, I mean, she didn't really suffer with that end. Again, I was mostly by myself, so I did what worked for me, what was easy for me. And for me, it was just, having her in every single room, place to sit or lay, whatever it was. If it wasn't playtime or tummy time, if I had to get some stuff done, I would just prop her there and she would be fine. So that helped me tremendously. It might not be the case for other kids that I might have, but for me right now, I do just have one baby, and that helped me a ton. To stay on routine was to also have her in a routine, get her started to know, okay, mommy's gonna eat right now, and so am I, and then we're gonna go for a walk, and then we do this. And they do start adapting to what you teach them, even really, really early. So that was probably be my very, very important tip, is getting a routine started with your baby, or if you don't have kids, is by yourself, whether you have work or school. Find something that's reasonable for you, your hours, the times that you're working, and stay consistent, even on your days off, even on weekends, whatever it is. Try to stay consistent with your meals. Another thing I want to throw in there is belly wrap. So a lot of moms say, oh, did you use a belly wrap or any oils and stuff? And I will show you guys how my body is now, and the answer is no. So the reason why I didn't use a belly wrap is because I did buy one. Well, I made my hubby buy two, because I had no idea how I was gonna end up after my first baby. And turns out that our body is like insane, guys. I believe a lot in the natural body and how it's supposed to function and how it's naturally supposed to, do its job and all that, without adding extra, whether chemicals or whatever it is, to your body. And with the wrap, it was actually the same thing. So right when you give birth, your uterus is contracting back to its size, and that for me was very painful. So when I would try to wrap my belly with it, it was not a pleasurable experience. I couldn't really sit right. I couldn't hold my baby. I couldn't do tummy time with my baby. I'm always on the floor with her. I'm always playing. It was just something for me that was in my way, and I didn't feel comfortable with it. So I did not use it. I probably used it, I want to say 1 to 2 days, maybe max. They were mostly brand new. So they might work for you, they might not. In my case, it did not work for me. It's just my personal experience with them. If you don't fix the inside of your body, there's no covering up the outside. Like, you still have to eat healthy, you still have to drink your water, you still have to stay in routine, be active, and with that, don't think that it's a magical tool that is just gonna make you, go back to your baby, your pre-baby weight or stage or whatever it is. So that was my thought on the belly wraps, that I did not use it, just because, again, it was painful, and I don't really believe in, items like that say they're gonna put you back to normal, when it's really us that we're supposed to be putting in the work to, make ourselves healthy, and slowly our body knows naturally to go back to its state. Another thing that I did not use was any weight loss supplements. So I didn't drink any weight loss teas, any weight loss really products, I want to say. Everything is like I promote out there on my Instagram. If you guys don't follow, I suggest you guys follow to see more daily motivation and my journey on what I'm eating, what I'm doing. Again, I did not purchase those. I just think for the most part, some of them are just scams for your money. I just want to throw out there that I am living proof, and I could swear it by God, if lightning strike me now, whatever it is, that it is possible to lose weight naturally by just eating right and getting exercise in, or whatever, changing your lifestyle to a healthier lifestyle. So again, I do not do any weight loss supplements other than protein. Another thing I want to throw out there is the meals that I was eating, like I mentioned, is 3 meals and 2 to 3 snacks a day currently. That is my calorie intake of 2,000 a day or 2,200, depends. I just switch on and off sometimes. Why do I do that? Again, for me, it's what works for me. If you guys don't know, I do have PCOS, and I noticed that if I last longer without eating, my body insulin levels, it's just a big variety of headaches. So for me, that has helped me, and like I said, it's sped up my metabolism. I learned how to do portion control, serving size. Like I've mentioned on my nutrition labels video, I talk about a little bit of what I look for when I am looking at stuff, and definitely serving size is what helps me control my eating when it is time to eat a meal or a snack. When I did start, losing weight, I was eating different kinds of breakfasts. Right now, I am close to 9 months postpartum. And I want to say about 2 months now, I have been consistent with a protein drink for breakfast. Now, with the protein drinks, I noticed that it does cut me down on calories. So I do have more leeway for the rest of the day for calories. Just be mindful of that you are kind of aware of how many calories you're eating. Even though something says that it's healthy and you're eating a whole bag worth of it, it's not really going to benefit you. You have to make sure what you're eating is right for your body and what you need to consume a day. So with that, I did switch to now having a shake for my breakfast with 2 meals and, like I said, 2 to 3 snacks. And I did post a snack video also for you guys to show you guys some of the snacks that I am currently eating right now. Also to go in with that. Anything else extra? I am, due to the quarantine, we were doing at-home workouts for, I want to say, close to 2 months. But I did drop weight also with that. So if you are a stay-at-home mom, a working mom, going to school mom, whatever it is, or you're not a mom, find an activity, like I mentioned, that does work for you. I do promote a lot of my CrossFit gym that I go to, but don't think because, I don't go to CrossFit that you will not lose weight or you won't get results like you do. It's just all depends on how you go about it. So if you find something that very much you enjoy and you like doing, you're still gonna lose weight as long as you stick through it, stay active. You might not like something, but find something else. There's so many activities out there that can lose weight and you guys don't even know about. Like yoga is one that's really, really hard. I tried, and relaxing on some part, but very hard. There's kickboxing, there's Pilates, there's Zumba. I love Zumba. When I was pregnant, I would go with my belly and dance and everything. So I love Zumba. I think it's a great workout. There's some Zumba classes that even have weights in it, which I do promote anytime you are losing weight, and especially a majority mass of your weight. You do have loose skin, like you guys will see in the end of the video. That is a big part. It's just like stretching out a big balloon, and then when it shrivels up, it's all crumbly and it's been inflated. So obviously that's a big sometimes side effect, I want to say, of gaining so much weight and then losing it. Weights, totally promote weights to help tone and redefine your body. And again, there is tons and tons of free tools out there. Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. They're always posting, workout videos that you guys can incorporate on your own, whether in the gym or in the house. But definitely a big part of how I'm losing weight now is consistency of staying active and doing at least an hour of exercise. You could start, by adding in 30 minutes. If you've never done anything before, start with walking or a jog or whatever it is. Just try to keep staying consistent with something that you guys enjoy. Another thing I want to say, other than drinking your water and staying, your meals and all that, etc., that I just said, is sleep. So I did mention that on the 6th week that it was very hard for me to do anything. And I know that's probably the number one thing that anybody suffers with, whether you work a lot or you have a lot of kids or whatever it is sleep. So sleep is super important. I know, it might not seem like we're getting enough of it, but whenever you can, you need to rest. And I learned this the very, very hard ways possible is definitely your body needs to rest and prepare for, the next day, and make sure that you're not going into your stress hormones. Like I said, if we're not sleeping enough, we're awake longer and we want to eat more. So a lot of the times people tell me, or whether it's working nights and then you got to get used to days and then you're awake some hours and then you're not awake that long hours, is trying to stay consistent with a good pattern of sleeping that will also help you, or it could gain you back. And if you're not sleeping well, try different things, like maybe try some night teas to help you sleep. Maybe try putting in some relaxing music. Whatever it is, just really, really, really try to get some sleep, some good quality sleep, and it will prepare you for your next day activities or eating or making sure you're staying on track. I want to say pretty much that has been it. I have gone back down to my pre-pregnancy clothes and weight and all that, but I do have a lot of work in progress. So you guys will see in a bit my body, how it looks like now. Again, I will be 9 months postpartum at the end of the week, and I really just wanted to do this video to not to show anybody that, I did it this fast. It was more of, okay, like I've been staying consistent. I've been eating good. I've been, staying active. I've been drinking my water, and, slowly your body is going to go back to its ways. Like I said, I believe in natural everything remedies. And this to me was, the top of the cherry, I guess. So it just so happened that I lost my weight in 9 months. It might not be the case for you. Again, we're all different. I just really, really, really want to promote there that the tips and tools that I did, a little bit of it, and in further detail with more videos, I will be going into more of each topic. But again, do not get discouraged, if you're 1 year postpartum, 2 years, whatever it is. As long as you guys start and stay consistent, you will see results over time. If you guys follow me on my Instagram, again, I post if I have a scale victory or whether it's a clothes victory, because sometimes, your victories are not visible on the scale. They're visible on your clothes. But yeah, I did also post out there, I would get 2 pounds a month even, and that was a win for me. My clothes were actually fitting better, even though I only lost 2 pounds in a month. It's a victory, and it's your body going again back to its natural state. You took 9 months to make a beautiful, beautiful miracle, and it's most likely going to take that long, if not longer, unless you're one of those built by God perfections that just lose weight when they come out of the hospital. Like, that's great. But if you're not consistent and healthy during, the after part, you will clash and you will regain and you will fall back into an unhealthy lifestyle. And that's what I promote. A lot of is staying healthy, staying active, promoting any type of positive environment and keeping up with what you're supposed to do. If you guys have any more questions continuing what I exactly did, which I pretty much try to cover without saying too much, just feel to message me or leave it in the comments. I am going to show you guys right now what my body does look like. Again, take in consideration that I did lose 70 pounds before having my baby. I gained 50 pounds during my pregnancy, and I just lost 52 pounds again. So total, I want to say it's like 120 pounds that my body has gone up and down during these 4 years of my journey. So there's definitely a lot of loose skin that I have to work with and I deal with every day, and stretch marks and all that. And we're all, you know, not perfect, but at least we know that we are pretty much, you know, getting better every day. So let's show you guys. Okay guys, so this is pretty much what I look like with my high-waisted pants, mommy approved, and my sports bra. I will be showing you guys what I look like with clothes on, and once I lower a little bit of my pants so you guys can see my actual belly, and hopefully they don't take away this video. So there you go. And again, taking consideration, I did lose quite a bit of weight before having my baby, so this was a big blow up again. Am I happy with the overall how I am? Yes. I probably expected to be you know, way more bigger or loose skin, and you guys will see actually that definitely a lot of loose skin that I do deal with. And you know, I'm actually pretty proud of how I lost, you know, all this weight and stuff, and still continue to push through and, you know, better my body. And also, as for stretch marks, I do have all around here, I want to say stretch marks. And even though I did, for the most part, try to use, you know, all those creams and whatever they promote out there for stretch marks, honestly, if you have the genetics, I think that you are most likely going to get them or not. It just also depends on the elasticity of your skin. And again, I was overweight. I was super more stretched out than this. So my body, again, did go through a lot. So loose skin is totally common, and so is stretch marks. So again, thanks you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, concerns, message me on my Instagram or leave it in the comments below. Can't wait to show you guys my next video. And don't forget to subscribe and like. And that is the sound of my kid that just woke up from a nap. So bye guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. See you next time.